Welcome to Fusionverse, a show where we talk about anime, TV shows, movies, and games. And today we are talking about games on the PS4, for that matter, well, the PlayStation Network, PlayStation Plus, and of course, this whole thing regarding Metal Gear Survival, no relationship clause. Yeah, we're talking about that. Let's get to it. Alright, first and foremost, let's talk about PlayStation Plus. The games that are available to you. To me, it honestly looks like trash. It looks like something that isn't as exciting to be released. These deals are kind of lackluster. In all honesty, the deals that actually came before these were actually better. They had a lot of, if you're a Ubisoft fan, they had a lot of things for Ubisoft, the 2K games. I think they might still have some of those deals going on, but yeah, these deals are just kind of lackluster, and I kind of see this as just a letdown, especially because there's not really that many indie games being revealed or being shown at all within the PlayStation Network. I go in there all the time, PlayStation Store. I'm trying to see, like, look for some mini games, just look for information on it, and there's really nothing. Like, I'm trying to look for. You have to go in with some other folders, and they don't really have a page in the forefront. Sure, there are some indie games that get shown, but then there's a lot of others that don't. And it's something that I'm kind of interested in. I'm interested in seeing just what these indie developers are doing and just how exciting it can be. But it doesn't do a good enough job of that. There's not even I don't know if this is on PlayStation's or if this is on indie developers, but there's also like usually no video footage of the game, and that's just pretty sad. The fact that they couldn't just record something and put it on there, show like some of the gameplay. It's easy to do now. Hell, you could just capture it within the PS4 and just show it that way. But I have no idea what the hell is going on with them. There's just a lot of disappointment with that. I've been wanting to get some games, but there haven't been deals for certain types of games. There's some games that they do have some deals, but then even when they do that, it's still kind of competing with GameStop in a sense, and you can probably get the game cheaper there versus online, or sometimes vice versa. Sometimes you can get the game cheaper on the PlayStation Store versus versus at GameStop or any other store. But there just seems to be this of lack of games or lack of promotion within this whole PlayStation Plus. If someone is paying money for that, it's great. Yeah, they can get a free one or two free games, but also like you're supposed to be offering these deals. I've heard that a lot of people on Xbox have actually more deals. One of my brothers tells me, it's like, yeah, it's because he has a PlayStation 4, and one of my other brothers has also an Xbox. So they get to see like the difference of, okay, what exactly are they offering? And it turns out that Xbox is just offering more discounted games, better titles, and that's really disappointing to just find that out and to see, because I have a PlayStation 4. That's what I play on. And then when I hear like these deals coming out, I'm like, oh, I'm excited to see, and then just get disappointed because I'm like, oh wait, well I can't get anything. And well, obviously, it's my choice. Do I want to get something or do I not? And obviously, I opt out to not get anything. But this could also mean that they're losing, that PlayStation is losing revenue, because there could be multiple people with the same ideology that I have of there needs to be just something better. It needs to be improved. There's a lot of updates that that come out for the PS4 to try and make it easier, to make it better, to improve on it. But for a console, for a company that says they're all about the indies, promoting indies, doing all these things for indie developers, there's really a lackluster of that. Usually like the top page, of course, whoever pays the most is gonna get that top page, and usually it's for like new games that are coming out and AAA titles, and they put it up there. And hey, that's fine. But also, I mean, have at least the second page be for like top indie games. I mean, you're these games are being published on the PS4, so it wouldn't be too difficult for you to contact these developers to have someone that kind of plays these games or to check out reviews to kind of post something for them. You know, to kind of uh, just promoting their games, because there's a lot of times where I'm just not sure like what's happening with all these different games. It would be nice to just kind of have that page in the forefront, you know, to have that. And I'm not a huge fan of this whole, VR thing, all that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that. So when I see PlayStation Plus come on with like, oh yeah, we're discounting a bunch of games, and it's like, hey, there's a lot of them that are for VR. I'm like, kind of like, oh, well, where the hell does that leave me at? Now, if you want to, now if there's a combination, like, hey, these are for VR, but we also have a huge selection as well for people just want to play on their controls, PlayStation, no VR. That'd be great too, But there really isn't. They need to find that balance, and a lot of times a lot of the discounts that they have are just for like for like screensavers or background setups, and it doesn't make me want to get that, especially if I'm going to try to see, oh, maybe what games I can get. Now, I will say this: there are times where PlayStation Plus does do a great job, and that would be like last year. Black Friday. Black Friday is usually when they do something really amazing, and I was actually able to get what was it, 7 Days to Die for only like about $7 or $8. Great freaking deal, but I know they can't obviously do that every single time, but it would be nice to see, certain discounts, certain games get discounted a little more so you can get people into getting it. Because the whole thing of that online shop is to prevent us from buying games from outside sources. Now, if these games are discounted a little less than what the outside sources are, trying to sell it to us, then we will be more inclined to purchase these games. But that's all I'm saying. If for this to be like an even bigger success and more money, because come on, who doesn't love getting more money? That would be a huge improvement. So that's just what I have to say about that. Now let's get on to, well, Konami, this whole Metal Gear survival game that a lot of people have hated on, and I obviously was one of those. I like just the fact of what they did kind of screwed over, or tried to screw over just this whole thing that happened with Kojima, and then this whole situation where we're gonna make this Metal Gear survival game with like zombies, but they have like crystals for heads. Whole weird thing. But I've been hearing a lot of people that seem to kind of like it. I've seen the gameplay for it. I've seen Angry Joe. I've seen him play it, and it isn't entertaining to me. It just seems kind of like just there. But yeah, it doesn't capture me. It doesn't make me go, I gotta get this. It just looks like a game that's just there. It's an option. If you want to get it, you can get it. Obviously, there's people who enjoy it, and there's people that do not. I am not one of those people that looks at this game and say, I have to play this. This is the game that I need to get right now. On the other hand, Kingdom Come Deliverance, or like a game like Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter, I wasn't so sure. Had to look up reviews. The same thing with Kingdom Come Deliverance. And there's been a lot of reviews. A lot of people actually saying good things about it. People saying negative things about the games as well. But ultimately, like I said, it's up to us to decide if we want this game. But with Metal Gear Survival, this mode, but everything that's in there, there's this clause, which is the meat and potatoes of this story, and that is there's this whole thing revolving about no relationships within the game. As in, if I'm playing with someone else, and I want to get a relationship with her, I guess I can't, because it says it prevents you from doing that. But there's also like these other things in there that talks about like no sexual abuse, no sexual content, uh, like linking people to sexual things. There's also like things about talking like suicide, things of that nature, which seems like a lot of people wouldn't really don't really want to focus on, which I feel like those are far more interesting to see because I haven't heard of that from other game developers that they implement that, or maybe it's there and I just didn't read it. But I was reading that and I was like, wow, that is very interesting that they're kind of putting their foot down on that. But this whole relationship thing, I mean, do you? I mean, you could add someone and you want to be in a relationship with that person, do it outside of the game, I guess. I mean, it's really stupid. But there's also this whole thing about like adults and minors. So there's a whole thing about, I guess, pedophilia. It doesn't really go into details about it, but just kind of mentions it, like, like talking to minors or trying to make them do something. It's like, no, you can't do that. So that's there. Uh, but yeah, nobody really seems to be talking about that. But yeah, those are actually some things that, I guess are positive that they're putting into there so they go, hey, don't you fucking try this. Don't even think about it. Because there are sick people out there, who want to manipulate others into doing stuff. Hell, there's been, like people trying to convince other people to commit suicide and do all these just horrible things. But yeah, it's something that they're implementing, and that way they can just kind of do something about that. The whole relationship thing, I don't know. I don't see if people will get in a relationship, but I mean, if it starts a relationship between two consenting adults, is that really bad? Well, let me know. Let me know what you thought about all of these different things that I just talked about. Down in the comments below, do you think it's a bad thing? Just this whole, Metal Gear survival, just what they're doing. Do you think they should just get rid of that? Do you think it's? I mean, I think it's pretty ridiculous, whole relationship thing. But I think the other stuff, is pretty good because, I mean, prevent things like that from happening. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you thought about that, as well as the PlayStation Plus. If you think that they need to improve it, they need to just do better announcements on this. Because I don't feel the need to just purchase this to, keep getting that, and it just I don't feel a need for it. But if you do, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this month's or this week's PlayStation Plus deals. And until then, I will see you guys next time on another episode of Fusionverse. Take care. Bye.